So good evening, everyone, from dark and very, very calm Dubai. At the moment, we've got people in the room from all over the place. We've got Anna from Lima, Vicaria from Athens, Jennifer from Toronto, and Leslie from Bochum, Marisa from Serbia, and Mary from Budapest, as well as Rosie from Recife in Brazil, and Debbie from Buenos Aires. Fantastic group that we've got together, and we have just started the third week on our mentoring EVO session, and we thought it would be a very good idea for us to get together and have a little chat with you about your experiences and the way ahead of us for the next 3 weeks of the session, and then how we go after that. We've prepared a very short presentation, but the idea is that we would like to get as much interaction and involvement from you as possible. And with that, this is the point where I'm handing over to Debbie, if that's okay. Yes, you can write on the board. Everybody's got whiteboard privileges. Everybody can talk if nobody else is talking. Turn on your video. We've got quite a lot of things that we can do, play around on this surface. So again, and I hand over to Debbie.
Thanks, Thomas. Hello, everyone. This is Debbie from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and well, I'm very happy to have you here, and it's wonderful to see how we are working together. The Facebook group discussion is really exciting, and I am very happy to see that we are all involved. I would like to tell you that I am a teacher of English. I don't like to say AFL anymore. And I am a mentor working for ITDI, that hopefully we are going to have Barbara Sakamoto and Chuck Sanji soon, that they are going to be sharing with us what they do with mentoring. So I would like to give Rosalie the mic on the video so she can introduce herself.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yes? Hello? So I'm Rosalie, I am from Recife, Brazil. I'm a teacher, I'm a mentor. I work for Cultura Inglesa, a respectful institute. At the moment I'm a teacher and I mentor not teachers. And I've been a mentor for a long time, and mentoring is one of my passions. I'm very happy I'm here with you, and I'm here thanks to Thomas, who was my mentor on the previous course, EVO course last year, and where I met Debbie, and we became very close friends. We call each other sisters, and we have a lot to share here and learn from you. I hope you like this session. Thank you.
Oh, it turns out that it's my turn again. Okay, sorry about that. I got a bit confused with myself. So we started this session a couple of weeks ago talking about effective mentoring, and one of the first things we did was a session with Hungarian ITFO mentoring SIG, which was a great experience. Was of course for me it was especially uh, very nice experience as people from Hungary who I have worked with for a long time were part of the conversation, and they initiated the conversation, and they were talking about the mentoring course that they have been running for over 20 years now, and they discussed and explained how they set up the mentoring course and how they have been using mentoring principles in mentoring courses at a university in Budapest, where they use mentoring techniques to prepare novice teachers for the challenges of working in a school. And I thought that that event was very interesting and useful for all of us to see how it can help people at the beginning of their career. And then we started conversations on Facebook and on our Yahoo group about what makes mentoring effective. And we would like to invite you to grab the little pen, no, sorry, the little text box icon and start writing the board what you see as effective mentoring. What is effective mentoring to you? So you can say things like effective mentoring is, what is it? Any suggestions that you would want to write? It's the fourth from the top. It's a letter A. You click on it. You can draw a text box and start writing in it. If you want to try it, play around with the board. We left it so blank so that you can write there. And of course, you can always grab the mic and your video, and can also share your thoughts with us in real words. Welcome, Fabiana. It's wonderful to have you with us. Thank you very much for joining us. Anybody brave enough to grab the mic and tell us what you think effective mentoring is, what it is for you? There are some excellent ideas coming up on the screen. I really like the suggestion about changing your judgmental mind. I think we are all quite judgmental outset, but mentoring teaches you to be much less mental and much more understanding. It's a very good point, I think.
Hello, this is Leslie Bohan from Virginia in the U.S. I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't know if you can hear me. I'm from Virginia in the United States, And I think that something that is important either as a mentee or a mentor is having that relationship meet at the point where the mentee is being met where the mentee is, except pushed just a little bit further. Just like good teaching, where you take your students up just beyond holding their hands, but just beyond where they already are, so that they are learning at the effective rate.
Thanks, Samira, for waiting for 30 minutes, and I hope it was worth it. And it's fantastic to have you with us. And Leslie, very much for that comment. I think it is a really important aspect, the finding out about places and seeing how you can adjust to the pace of somebody else and how you can effectively become part of their learning process. That's fantastic. Samira, you never think you're just with us at the right time. We have just started talking active mentoring, and we've been collecting some ideas through microphone and sharing ideas on the about what people consider effective mentoring. So if you have anything to add to that, now is your time. Just click the talk button and you can talk to us, or you can write on the whiteboard. Okay, if no one is willing to speak to us, oh, no, you're not, Teresa. It's fantastic to, yes, for the first time installing Java and figuring out how to get into this room can be a little bit of a pain, but both you and Samira coped with it very well. So it's great to have you. And with that, I think these are some very, very good ideas. And Samira's suggestion is when you're effective, when you put someone at ease about their work and what they are doing, that is a very, very good point. Samira, do you have a mentor there? Jeddah, what is your situation in Saudi Arabia?
Hi, can you hear me? Oh, is that a yes? Is my voice clear? Okay, then. Well, as I said, my experience here in Saudi Arabia was kind of rocky at the beginning. When I first got here, I ended up working in a big university. The system was sort of quite different than what I was used to. There was no sense of coordination, of organization. So it was mainly running around, asking everybody what to do, who to go to. There was no clear direction. So it was kind of confusing and sometimes depressing for me. So
now, that's what I need, a real mentor, because it seems that everybody was, they were by themselves. I had to approach some people that I thought maybe they were willing to talk to me or help me. So, I mean, people were not that bad, but I think because of the culture here and the system where they were working, not everyone was at ease. So it was a very hard experience. I had to learn the hard way. I had to talk to teachers that I thought they were more willing to open to me. So I would ask questions around what were the rules, where should I go for such and such, things, especially when it comes to immigration papers, offices. It was, I wish I had somebody who would take my hand, sit with me, tell me, listen, this is what you need to do ABC. You can go over there, or I can take you there, or, even show you around, to offices, to places. It was an overwhelming experience. But then, finally, I survived, and I'm here now. And after I saw this program, I was like, wow, I wish I knew this about this before. Because right now, I think they started realizing it, and they started, having some program for teachers mentoring. It might not be late for other teachers, but it was kind of late for me. So hopefully they will come around and have a mentoring group who can show teachers around. Even for the students, not only for teachers. The students who come to for the first year of university, they keep asking you, where's such and such an office? Who should I go to talk to? Where's my class? So to have, in some sort of a program where both teachers and students can have, be directed and have somebody to be there for them would be excellent. So I hope that shed some light to what I say. I hope that you guys understood what I said.
That was fantastic. Thank you very much, Samira. I think you raised a couple of very interesting points. Well, I also live in the Middle East, and I absolutely agree that getting used to the culture and getting used to the way things work in this part of the world can be challenging. I found it really hard in my first two jobs in the UAE because there was a of support and a very strong culture that was very difficult to come. What I wanted to ask from you, if you could tell, how long have you been in Saudi, and what are you doing at the moment to help? Oh yes, it is a lot more, a lot easier. The UAE is the same as Saudi. It is a lot easier, but it still has its challenges, like the geographical area. That's similar. So what I wanted to ask was, how are you helping new teachers now that you have gone through this process all by yourself, and do you find of finding the students or the teachers who need help?
Oh, well, can you hear me now? Okay, yes, okay. I just met like a couple of new teachers who were from the States, from the US, and every time I see somebody who's new, I approach them. First I ask them, are they new? If they say yes, I say, okay, well, how long have you been here? Maybe a couple of weeks, 3 weeks. I say, okay, well, fine. How are you finding things here? And they were like, they would roll their eyes, say, oh, and I say, well, don't despair. I've been there. So I give them my advice. I say, listen, just take it easy. and go with the flow. And if you have questions, just don't hesitate. I give them my number right away. I ask them what they need. I give them direction who to go to, which office. I mean, I can't be there 24/7 for them, but every time I take their numbers and I call them, I follow up with them and say, okay, what happened today? How were things? Did you get any help? And if they need something from me and I have time, I take them to whatever they want, and I give them like insights of what to do, all these things. So without no constraints, no nothing, because I'm happy to give, because I know I can feel, I can empathize with them. I know what they're going through, especially at least I know the culture. I'm Muslim. I mean I speak a little bit Arabic, so I have a little bit advantage, but they're like straight from the U.S. They don't know the culture. They don't have the same religion. It's different. So I tell them, this is what happened, and I connect them to other teachers who are from the same country, are Americans or British, whoever I say, okay, so and so is good. Contact so and so. I introduce them to other people. So and then from there, every time they see me, they just run to me, this and that. I say, it's okay, how are things? So and I as I can see them evolving and getting along and getting acquainted and adjusted, it makes me feel happy, because at least I know that they have a peace of mind. So I mean, that's how I can help them. So and as I say, they have a program now, this program of mentoring teachers at the university. So I didn't volunteer to it because I didn't know what they were up to. So I'm planning to, after I finish this course, I'm planning to contact the supervisor or the coordinator, and then tell her that I took this course. If she wants me to help, I'm willing. Besides, I also forwarded some of the articles to all the, we have this Yahoo group for employees. So I just put the link there. I said, okay, hi fellow teachers, this is a great article about mentoring. I thought that I will share with you and just read it, and that's it. So for them to see what it needed to be, what it takes, to be a mentor, and how it can help somebody new. So that's what I did. Okay, I'm done.
You cannot imagine how it was to hear your words. This was beautiful. Thank you very, very much, Samira, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your experiences. And with that, I move on to, because that's I think a very nice lead on to our next slide. Again, a fairly blank slide, which we would like you to fill in for us, the way Samira really started it, about your experiences. Many of you have already shared them on our Facebook page and our Facebook group and on Yahoo groups, which we have read with great pleasure. But perhaps there are some ideas, some things that have come up since then, or some like to share with us in speaking. And I put poor Rosalie on the spot right now, and I would like to ask her to tell us a few words about her blog post and about her initial involvement in mentoring, just to give us a little bit of a flavor. And then in the meantime, please feel free to share your thoughts on the screen, or just grab them after Rosalie has spoken. Press the talk button. Rosalie, you have to press the talk button as well as the video.
What about now? Okay? Okay. Fine. So, I've already shared with you a bit of my experience when I started, how I started to be a mentor. Actually, I was starting to be a teacher at this respectable institution. It was kind of almost 28 years ago, and I was completely lost with all the environment, competition, a lot of materials to be handled. I couldn't find myself right in that place because I didn't know how to deal with a lot of too many things at the same time. And I was trying to be, you know, nice and asking questions to one person, to another person. And one day I found myself completely lost in that teacher's room when out of a sudden came that big, that tall girl. She was a very experienced teacher, and she could see the you know, the sadness in my face, how I was, you know, disappointed, or how I couldn't deal with the things. And she said, "Do you need help?" And I said, "Yes." So she sat down with me and she showed me everything, every single thing in that room. And he offered me help, and along that semester I could say she was my mentor. It was not something formal, it was informal actually, but that's why I decided to do the same thing for the next semesters. Years later I became, a couple of years later, I mean 2 or 3 years later, I became the coordinator. And the first thing I had as a goal was, I will train every single new teacher here. I will show them everything. I will mentor them along the semester. After that, what do you mean underserved? Underserved? I don't understand. I'm sorry. Okay, so fine. Okay, so I developed a program, a mentoring program as a coordinator, after that as a DOS, and yes, I was the boss and I was one of the mentors. I had mentors with me, and this was the way I most learned as a professional. I developed it as a professional. I trained teachers, and I learned from them. And once I shared that as mentors, we should ask teachers sometimes to observe us teaching. And I was very surprised many times when I had feedback from my mentees. So it was just the open heart of that person. Her name is Dilma, and it's not my president, but coincidentally her name is also Dilma, and she was the unforgettable mentor in my life. Okay, it was a really rewarding experience. And before I was a coordinator, before I had any kind of post, I decided that for every single novice teacher that came to that school, I was the one to show those teachers everything, to help them with no payment, because I think I'm a natural mentor. I like this. This is the way I find myself happy. Happy professionally, sharing, learning. That's it. Any questions? Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Fabi. Yes. Any questions? Thank you, everyone. Yes, I like to help very much. I'm still a mentor. I don't have any post at the moment. I mean, I'm not a coordinator or whatever, but I am a mentor. This is something I want to do. I think I'll end up my life doing this. Yes, Amira, I think you can always volunteer. This is the suggestion I've given for some people. If your institution does not have a mentoring program, you can volunteer. Okay? So, Tomas, with you now.
That was excellent. Thank you very much, Rosie. It's a very nice story, and in the meantime, the screen is filling up nicely, and the conversation in the chat box is also fascinating. And Mary's question, I would like to throw back in the open, if you don't mind, because it sounds fairly easy to say that you can always volunteer, but I'm sure Mary has been asking what you can do when there is no program near you. I think it's a very valid question, and you can go ahead forging forward like Samira did in Saudi, which is really, really impressive, but sometimes you see a lot of constraints and a lot of difficulties. So I would really like to hear your suggestions or ideas, or how you personally have coped with situations.
Hi guys. I think that the question, Mary is asking this interesting question about what if we don't have a mentoring program around us, and I think that is very interesting. In my case, I was writing that sometimes I'm here and I get stuck and I don't know how to solve a problem, and I just tweet my PLN and I ask for help, and I always find someone, or someone is always willing to help me. And we were discussing this thing the other day in Facebook, whether, for example, Steve Jobs can be called a mentor. And so we were saying that a mentor is that person that stays with us during a certain amount of time. But I think that a mentor can also be that person that will help us when eventually we have a question, a doubt, or we get stuck, and we can discuss about it, sort it out, and go ahead.
Anna, is there any way you can to us, because the things that you're saying in the chat box are just so important and so interesting. First, you mentioned a little bit earlier that you have benefited not only professionally but personally from mentoring, which would be quite interesting to hear about. And now you're saying about devising a mentoring project with your director. How did you get around to doing that, and what were the steps and what happened? Would be fantastic to hear.
Thanks, Thomas. Can you hear me? Oh, thank you. Well, I was really privileged because I took part in a pilot mentoring program in Chile, training mentors, really, 200 hours mentor training program. And It was in year 2004-5. But then we had to train mentors in our provinces. I lived in one province, and select among the best teachers of the province. Okay, it was a lot of work, extra work, but the experience of being in touch with the schools, with the teachers, not only stay at the university, but this bridge that we built with the school teachers was fantastic. And I learned a lot from them because they opened their classrooms for me to see how they were coping with very difficult realities. And I became a better teacher trainer at university. And I'm not at university now. I am at a language school. I changed countries, everything. But I believe strongly that an institution that really wants to grow and to be a better institution has to implement some sort of induction together with mentoring. So I presented these ideas last year to a group of bosses, and they believed in what I was saying. And they also found it practical and maybe even solving or coping with some of the problems we're having. So we are now devising a peer mentoring program. That is, the teachers will choose another teacher, I don't know, the friend, something like a person you trust, that will observe their classes, and they will observe each other. But before that, they will have to get acquainted. Yes, get acquainted with the mentoring cycle. Yes, get a phase of training, of awareness raising first before we deal with really peer mentoring. I don't know how this will come out in the end, but I'm really hopeful, and I will tell you how it goes. Thanks.
Can't wait. That sounds like a fantastic initiative, and from the reactions in the chat box, you can see that most of us think that it's a great idea and a really good way. I think I would, looking at my situation, find it really difficult to convince my management. So it's great that you managed to bring them on board and get them in. Because it's quite a big institutional commitment, I believe, which institutions very rarely have the foresight or the commitment to do. So that was fantastic. Thank you very, very much. Exactly, Rosalie. That's a very good point. The confusing mentoring with coordination, that's one of the problems I ran into when I was as a mentor, and then I realized that now I was just a great coordinator, really. That's a very good point. Anyway, with that, just moving forward a little bit, and now I think I am handing over to Debbie, if that's okay, with the next slide. Okay. I don't know if Debbie's here, but it's fantastic response to the Google form that we shared with you and asked you to fill in. Oh, I can hear you. If I shut up, then I can hear you. Sorry.
Well, I don't know if you have heard me or not, but I was telling you that we wanted to share some results from the survey. Okay, good. We wanted to share some results from the survey we had at the beginning of our session. And the question here is, how have your expectations been fulfilled so far? And what do you expect from the session was the question in the survey. And the numbers are quite interesting. Most people said, find out how mentoring can improve my professional life, and then find out more about mentoring in general. So the question we want to share with you is, we would like to know about your expectations and how we can make it better, if you have any suggestions, because this is about community, this is about social learning. Any ideas, guys?
No, Samira, what to do? These are the things that perhaps you or definitely 50 something, around 60 people from the team, from the mentoring EVO session have answered to already, and that was about 3 weeks ago. And now that we are halfway through the session, it would be nice to sort of look back at these questions and see how those initial expectations that you'd had a couple of weeks ago did the session have been fulfilled, have changed. I will send you the link in a minute to the survey. Okay. And if anybody wants to tell us what their expectations were at the beginning, those have been met, or how they have transformed in the last, would be fantastic to hear. It's never too late. I've just put there, so, and it's also amongst the links on our Yahoo group. With Facebook, you would probably have to scroll down a little bit. But anyway, it would be quite interesting to see, because we spent quite a long time sort of thinking about this, talking about this, and I think once the session started, all our previous expectations. I don't know, Debbie, if you would be nice enough to tell us how you, well, the journey that you have gone through in the last 3 weeks, apart from not having and struggling with all the difficulties in Argentina at the moment.
Well, I don't know if I could hear your question very well, but my feeling is that we started slowly, but the idea behind this session was that we were going to provide as many platforms as possible so that participants could join us wherever they feel more comfortable. And Rosalie and I are sort of more devoted to the Facebook group. That's why you see us there all the time, and when electricity allows me. But I have this feeling that we are evolving as a community, and the more we get in touch with each other, there are more questions, and we just, I just see that there's a lot of movements. But I think that it would be interesting to see if there is anything else that you would like to suggest in order to make this journey more effective. Yes. There is something that I am not very good at Yahoo groups, you know. And the other day I was reading one of the blog posts by Mary Sosa, and so I shared it in the Facebook group. And I thought that Mary was asking some wonderful questions. So this is maybe something that we can do a little bit better. Like sometimes in the Facebook group we don't have those interesting questions. I don't know, Mary, if you're able to grab the mic and share with us your questions and your reflections. Teresa, you are bringing a good question. You are saying that you wanted to see how other institutions are doing with the mentoring processes and programs. As I said, I am a mentor for ITGI, and that's a very special mentoring program because we work with teachers from, we call it underserved regions, and they need a lot of support. So basically, we are there just to support them and to help them go, just to develop professionally and to sort of develop their self-esteem. And so yes, I think that mentoring programs differ from from organization to organization. It depends on where you work. So if anyone wants to grab the mic, maybe you can raise your hand, or we can move forward to the next slide, Master Tamit.
It's a shame Mary is in a common room where she isn't be able to talk to us, but she also asked a couple of very important questions, because we did mention at the beginning of the session, we started talking about it, that we are going to have people meet and find mentees and mentors for themselves. We really see the communication on the Facebook and within the Facebook and the Yahoo groups as a very good opportunity for people to start talking to each other, because I don't know what your experience has. Speaking for myself, the best mentors and the professional relationships, I always sort of ended up people who I had chats with over banal or not even necessarily educational topics, but they've evolved into something very deep and professional. I think with my conversations with Rosalie started off talking about coffee, which is one of her obsessions and one of my obsessions, and then we've ended up deciding to do this EVO session together. I think one of the reasons, as Debbie said, we have all these for people to find one that they are comfortable communicating through, and finding people they have a natural relationship with. So that is one of the answers, but we will have much more targeted activities for people to find each other. So that's one of the questions. And the other question was about tools for professional development. Yes, we are definitely thinking about introducing this part of the topic. Probably next week and the last week are going to concentrate on tools and activities and platforms that we can use Um, there was a question here about ITD. If you look at the website that I've just pasted the link to in the talk, you can always contact the ITDI team, and they would be more than happy to guide you how to become a mentor and how to become part of this amazing organization. I think it's been one of the most powerful tools for all three of us here on the mentoring team, I think.
Thomas, can we move forward to the next slide? Thanks. So, well, here we are sharing a new screenshot from the survey, and the question was, which of these options best describe your expectations about this session? And some people said, I will work. That was good, very honest. And I want to read as much as possible about mentoring. That is very interesting because this is something that I could see. Most of the people were really reading and they were sharing their opinions. That was so awesome. This community is really powerful. This is why I think that we are learning together, and we might not be aware of the fact that we are just setting up a community of mentors and mentees and where we can interchange our roles. So I think that the question about how relevant the readings have been is somehow answered in the chat box. So maybe we can move forward if anyone wants to grab the mic. I will. All right. So here comes the empathy in mentoring, and I love this topic. Okay, guys, anyone who wants to talk about this?
Yes, so one of the topics we tackled, and I probably a little bit hastily pasted a link to a video on our Facebook page, and then I put it on our YouTube channel as well. Was an excerpt and a visualization of a much longer talk on empathy and sympathy. It evolved into a very interesting conversation, which I would have liked us to, well, I would like us to reflect on a little bit. And I don't know if you've seen the video. Just in case you haven't, I will post it in the box in just once. In the meantime, anything that you've got to say about empathy, sympathy, or vice versa, and their relationship would be interesting to hear.
Yes, Fabiana here is saying something so cool. She says that if mentors say what they do, and I say, if they do what they say, this is let me, this is the question. Do mentors do what they say, or do they say what they do? Fabiana, maybe you want to grab the mic.
Hi guys, can you hear me? Okay, guys, I'm so sorry, so deeply sorry, but I'm in the middle of a meeting. It's the first day at work, and my boss is waiting for me with all the team of teachers, and I really need to leave. Okay, I'm deeply sorry. It was a pleasure to be here. I wish I could be at home with plenty of time, but I really need to go. Okay, it was fantastic, and I hope to have some feedback of you all, and we will interact on Facebook, Google Plus, and such and such. Okay, love you. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you, Debbie and Thomas, for the opportunity to join you. Okay, bye-bye.
Sorry, Samira, I plagiarized what you have just written because I think it's such a brilliant quote. So I just copy-pasted the text box on to the screen. When you said, I think the mentee does not need someone to feel sorry for them, but someone they can count on, feel confident with, no holding back to express their feelings, is just a beautiful uh, sentiment and a great point. That I see that more and more people, we've gone way over the time that we said this session will take. So obvious that people will have to leave, and it's been absolutely wonderful to have you here, and we are grateful for all the conversation and all your contributions that we have had so far, and I'm really excited about the next 3 weeks. No, I'm in Dubai, in the UAE, and it's been fantastic talking with you, and we could probably continue this conversation at another time. Oh, Samira, we'll meet. That's awesome. How exciting. And we will probably continue this conversation. This time week, we are very uber excited to have Barbara Sakamoto and from the ITDI mentoring, ITDI team, talking to us about setting international mentoring network and how blended online and face-to-face mentoring system works so far, and how you can become part of it, and how we can all contribute to this learning experience. So we will start advertising it as soon as we finish with this webinar. I think it is only fair that we now, and we are looking forward to continuing this conversation at another place and time. I hand over to Debbie just to make sure that she has something to say, and that I won't stop her from doing that.
Thanks, Thomas. No, just thank you, guys, for being here. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for this wonderful community. I feel so thrilled to be part of this, because this is about participants. Moderators are here just to organize the journey, but I feel I'm learning so much, and so I just want to thank you all. That's all I want to say. Thank you, guys.